Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community meeting. Today is September 26, 2025. And on the agenda today, Q Zhang's going to talk a little bit about some of the issues, or some of the requests that the community has brought up regarding the manifest work replica set. Q Zhang, do you want to take your screen share and take it away? Thank you.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Uh, sh- please. I think you can see my screen now.
Yep, we can see your screen. But could you scroll up a bit? It's at the bottom. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think we want to discuss about the manifest work replica set, like because we are starting to we get some feedbacks like whether manifest work replica set can do this or it can do that, but actually there are some missing part in there. Um, Uh, I haven't take really close look at this one, but this is one of the use case. Um,
So Young is the one that actually brought up the use case A. So maybe
Yeah,
I'll let Young kind of explain, his use case, and then we can go from there. Young.
sure.
Yeah.
So right now, what we are doing, we want to enable the algo rollout to the multi clusters.
mhm.
So we are considering using the MWLS. But the problem here, we are seeing in order to, sorry, my kids. So the problem here, right now, so MWLS basically when it's moved to the next cluster in the progressive rollout type, it just checks the existence of the resources, right? That's the one
Yeah,
problem. And what we want to do, we want to deploy the algo rollout to the target cluster, and then we are monitoring that the progress of the rollout through the
yeah,
feedback rule. And then the hub side, we want to control the traffics through the mesh. And then also it's gonna changing the traffic weight based on the rollout progress, part by part. And then rollout itself also has some sort of analysis template there to make sure that the deployment is going well, and then have some sort of a test for each step. And then once the deployment is done, then top level, we want to have a make sure that algo rollout is done completely at the cluster level. And then it's more like a post deployment check at the cluster level. And then once post deployment check, now I know that when I look at the code, MWLS just check the existence of the resource, and then it's
yeah,
marked as a success, and then move on to next. Rather than doing it, we will basically want to make sure that the algo rollout CR status is what kind of ready state, and then we're going to move to the next cluster to roll out the next same same MW resource into the next cluster. So that's pretty much what we want to do. And also
yeah,
number 4, actually, when, let's say we deployed it completely in cluster 1, and then when you move on to the next cluster 2, and then we found some sort of failures at the cluster 2 level resources, then we want to have some rollback capability to the previous MW templates. That's what we want to do. And we actually review the whole code and then have some kind of proposal internally. I didn't really kind of create the issues for entire proposal, but internally we review the code and have some plans to change that for this requirement. Sorry, my kids like. Any questions?
Yeah. So I think there's two aspects here. The first one is you want to control the sequence of how the rollout CR is deployed into different clusters. So, for example, if
Yes.
you have two clusters, you want to check in the first cluster whether the rollout has been completed, and then there should be the manifest work replica set should create the manifest work to another cluster, the row on the row RCR.
Right. I mean,
So
in terms of
yeah.
in terms of order, I do see that like MWLS progressive rollout type,
Yeah.
you are always like sorting in alphabetical order. And I was thinking like in this case actually it guarantees that the order of the clusters, because it is basically sorting the cluster names. Yeah.
So the rollout is really based on the status of the resources, right? Like,
Right. That's the current status.
yeah, okay. So I think the
So
current, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I think the progress rollout a part today doesn't check the status of the manifest work. And that's one of the enhancement that we might need to
Yep.
do. The good part is that today we do have a way that you can use the CEL expressions on the manifest work to set up some status conditions on the manifest work, like whether it is completed, whether the rollout is completed. That is possible today.
Yep.
But the missing part right now is we probably need the rollout API, not the rollout API in Argo, but the rollout API in ManifestWorkReplicaSet to be able to support some conditional customized conditional stuff, like
Right.
when the condition of the manifest work is this, then go on to next cluster.
Yes. That's the missing pieces. That's why internally we have some proposal. So I didn't like create any proposal in the GitHub issue, but I would like to discuss it is the right directions, because the idea is basically we would like to introduce like success feedback rules at the progressive type. Under progressive type, there's a rollout. I forgot the progressive property back, and then there's a minimum sometime. Yeah, so we're gonna just add additional field such as like success feedback rule, and then we're gonna use the CEL to check the status of the status rules to make sure that the rollout is done or not. So that is kind of the like some proposal on our end.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that's if you search the progressive, yeah, so under that.
This one, right?
Yes, that one. So inside that, it has no. This is not what I want to see. Maybe let me double check. We have some proposal internally. I'm not sure I can share this one.
Oh, here. I think you are talking about this part.
Yes. So I mean, basically, we're gonna add some. And in the proposal, internal proposal, actually, it might be good to introduce the success feedback rules there and support the CEL so that we can give some sort of the way to check the status of the feedback rules of the manifest work. And then at the manifest work feedback rule configuration, we'll have the algo rollouts, healthy check condition check. So it will keep update the status from the algo rollout CRs
Okay.
to show up the status on the manifest work. That's what we are thinking.
Yeah.
So that's, and then manifest work MWRS level is gonna have the success feedback rules. So whenever MW is updated on the hub side, we're gonna check the status of the successful conditions, and then we can check that status. And then when it's succeeded, and when it's like the condition is true, then we're gonna move on to the next cluster. I do see that the code is well written so that we can easily add it, that condition. That's what I found.
Yeah. So I think one thing that you can also take a look at is a condition rule here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way that we can define a status conditions in the manifest work. Um,
Yeah,
and you can define like the type, and what in
right.
what conditions this will be true. And then um, I think we can then enhance the rollout API to like add something like conditional
Mm-hmm.
uh, predicate or something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
say, hey, on this condition type, you cannot progress it. On this condition, you can go on to the next step. That's the
Yeah.
similar as what you think right now?
Yeah, that's what we are thinking now.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So yeah, that's the one part to check the status of the redness of the cluster level.
Yeah.
Another part, actually, we want to control the kind of, you can imagine the like control that mesh traffic weight whenever, you know, rollout progress uh, and rollout is updated and the pod by pod, it will keep like changing to up. Oh, sorry, keep um, deploy the newer version of a pod. Whenever it's
Uh-huh.
updated, we want to get the feedback from the spoke cluster, which is from the rollout status, and then hub side we're gonna get the feedback, then update some mesh configuration at the hub level. So
Okay.
that part is a little bit tricky when I see that, because I do see like the cluster-led agent basically has a, from my understanding, like the sync intervals. So that's so, but we need to have some near real-time kind of feedback loop there.
Oh,
Yeah, so that is one. I think I know that if you keep watching the specific, I'm not sure. Like where we are thinking now, we might want to like watch the specific kind of resource. Maybe we can introduce additional fields that to watch the specific kind of resource rather
mhm.
than like periodically sync. That's the one kind of additional feature we are thinking to
Okay.
enable that scenario. I want to hear, I mean, this enable all of those requirement requires some many changes, I think. It's not just a simple changes, I know. I want to hear you guys thought that like it makes sense. I know that why you have the periodic check is because of kind of a load on that. But I wonder if we enable that specific resource to watch to update the status uh, in the near
I
time. So
Yeah. I think yeah, we thought about that. I think that's interesting. I think maybe you're right. Like we probably will not try to um watch for all the things. Like
yeah,
maybe in the feedback rules you could define a type or something.
Right.
And then only this resource will be watched. There might be some, I don't know, maybe there might be some optimizations that we need to do in the future. Like if you have multiple manifest work and uh, like if you have all of them have some same type of resources being watched and which is set in the feedback rules, we probably will need a better way to handle that instead of like each manifest work starting a go routine to watch on each
Mm-hmm.
resource. So, but I think that makes sense. I think adding a field in the feedback rules to allow a real
Yep.
time sounds reasonable to me.
Oh, that's great. Actually, we are a little bit worried about that this thing, because I do believe that causes some, the performance issue. So, but yeah.
Yes, I think so. I think as long as we don't do it by default for all the things, and
Mm-hmm.
we if we have some um if we can add some matrix um around that, like how many watch and what to prove that it's okay. I mean, I think actually we think about that before, but we
Oh, I
just
see.
feel that
Okay, that's great.
Can we take a small pause? Because Wayman has his
Sure.
hand up for a while. Wayman, do you want to?
Yeah, I thank you guys. I'm Raymond. I actually work with Young. We work very close together in the same team. So I guess maybe you already introduced where we are from Salesforce.
yeah
We plan to like heavily invest in OCM. Right, Young actually did a lot. You can see that Young actually dig into the code and do a lot of analysis already. In fact, I think Young part of the feature that Young is suggesting, he already implemented that in our own fork and. But our leadership is also very supportive of kind of going back to the community and really want us to lean in more. So this is our kind of first coming into the meeting and try to kind of introduce ourselves and make sure that the thinking, the use cases that we have in mind also fits the kind of the general direction that you guys are considering for this product and also for the OSS custom set standard.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know whether Yong explained maybe some of the rationale of why we're trying to do near real time saying um
Raymond here. So, sorry. I mean, this is a kind of open community call. So
mm,
can we talk about that part like in a separate channel? So
okay, sounds
Mike
good.
created a separate channel. So I
Uh,
don't. Yeah, I didn't expose any the companies in this call,
okay,
honestly. So
sounds good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then the last part, I would like to like finish like this is the last part,
Mm,
the rollback scenario. On our end, what I was thinking by basically how we can enable the rollback. So for example, like one cluster, let's say I deployed it and I created a M double for the target cluster one. And then we are tracking the rollout CRs, the status until the rollout is done. And then during the time something goes wrong, so I saw that you already have some sort of um, mean deadline time stuff, like to ensure that the failure or not, to check if the failures of the cluster deployment. So
Yeah.
what happens, like what we want to do, let's say the deadline is passed. In this case, we can mark it as a fail. Then what's the next directions, next actions will be, right now it's just like just a stop there. But instead of doing it, we want to enable rollback to the previous M double. So I mean the internal proposal, what we want to do, we can track the history of the M double manifest work template. So similar to stateful set or daemon set, or like those are using the controller revision CR.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking, maybe to enable the rollback, we can leverage the controller revision whenever like m double create or updates is gonna save that the specs into the controller revision to maintain the revision, and then when something goes wrong and it failed, and then we're gonna roll back to the previous revision. That's what we are thinking now.
Yeah.
I want to hear more thoughts, because when I read like the manifest replica set means that the purpose of the initial goal of this CR sounds like you are mimicking the
Replica.
Kubernetes replica set. So, but the Kubernetes replica set is not I mean, Kubernetes replica set itself doesn't have some sort of the revision maintenance, right? So I wonder if we introduce those type of like rollback feature and maintain the history of the MWRS, then I wonder if it's like it's not aligning what you initially thought for MWRS. I wonder if.
I think the feature doesn't quite yeah, I mean the feature is aligned. Like we certainly I think we also internally discuss about the rollback. It's just we
That's
are not
great.
clear. Yeah, we are not quite clear how to do that. Like as you said, one possible way is using controller revision, and
Yeah.
another possible option is we just create two manifest or replica set with different version, and indicating in one of them saying when you do want to, like this one is an upgrade version of the like just as a replica setting for the deployment,
Mm-hmm.
like, and when one of the replica set is upgrade to another one, and in a new one we can reference to like when something happens wrong, you need to roll back to the previous one in some cluster in the cluster that failed to apply the new one. That's another option. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, that's so I also consider that option as well. But when I
mm,
see the implementation, you know, it's already there. Like the
oh,
rolling
okay.
back, it basically, so all the MWRS operation more like I do see it's not just like replica set feature. It's more like um yeah, I mean, it's everything kind of the only missing pieces there probably just like how you can manage the revision inside the MWRS. But when I see the name of the CRs, it's doesn't we are a little bit concerned like the name of the like MWRS, because it's meant to like multi-cluster replica set. It's not really aligning what the Kubernetes replica set there. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I understand. So I mean, it's so there are several things. I think that it won't be aligned. Like there is also issues like in I pasted here the
Hmm.
1175. It's about that they want to override the values based on placement of different clusters. Like they don't want they will not want to deploy the exactly the same resources different cluster. Maybe
I
they
see.
want to also do some patch based on
Hmm.
it's EKS or EKS, etc. Um, so
Oh, that's funny things. Like we need that feature as well in the long term, in the long
yeah,
run. We needed
I
some plus a specific. So I was thinking maybe we might need to have additional like template engine there, just like using the Go template
so
there, to interpolate some variables like that.
yes. And I think it's quite open here. Like if I don't think manifest work replica set has been quite adopted already.
Hmm.
But it just starting to get many attentions recently. So, but I think it's quite open because it's Alpha 1. So if we think name is doesn't make sense, if we think the name is replica set is confusing, we certainly can rename it.
Oh,
Even
that's great.
start a new API. I think that's fine. But for example, for the manifest work change, like we talk about the feedback part, we
Yes.
will need I think we will need the enhancement design proposals here
Mm-hmm.
about what the API that what part we want to change.
Okay.
I think the rollout is also the same part. I think we already have. So you probably you can reference
Sure.
the rollout. So there is already a rollout design here, so you can reference that one. Where is it? This one? No, not this one. I think this one. Maybe this one. Yeah. But you also can like reference the previous design that we want to enhance.
Sure.
Yeah. But I
So,
think that's
yeah.
already really good idea.
Oh, then what if we have some idea and then some proposals, honestly. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys like work to get the new proposal, but what if we can just start with Google Docs and then review it together first, and then like create the enhancement later on once we
Yeah.
have some agreement on that. Other than just created it like markdown documents, it's hard to change it, right? So
Yeah.
I think that we can create some sort of like Google Docs and then discuss there, and then get feedback. And then once we both sides agree, then probably we can next step we can create an enhancement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that work?
That's actually how we do it too. I mean,
Okay, that's great.
yeah, maybe we should mention that in the enhancement report, but generally that's exactly what we do. We first go over
Sure.
in Google Docs, have a bunch of discussion. When it's almost there, then we create the cap and just finalize everything. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Then I think that we can share the docs. I think that we have some sort of a proposal in our end, so that we can share the docs maybe next week with you guys, and then we can discuss there first. Does it work?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Sorry, I'm with my kids.
No problem at all. It's same for me, same for Kijang, and same for half the folks in this call. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I have. Yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you, Young. That was great. We love to hear that you not only have you been trying LCM, I mean you're getting your hands dirty and yeah, making changes and testing out. That's awesome. That's exactly why we created this project and open source it. It's great that it's great to hear that. Oh, Wayman, I wasn't able to find you in the Kubernetes Slack, but I think you're in the CNCF Slack, so I DM you there. I'm in both CNCF and Kubernetes Slack, so if you need to reach out to me, feel free to ping. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. We'll catch up offline.
Sweet. Well, that's all the topic I have for today. Kijang, is there anything else that you wanna mention?
No, I think that's all. I think that's great.
Okay. Any last minute comments, questions for anyone? 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you everyone for joining the call today. See you all next
Thank you.
time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.